the squad with us. Lord, oh, you want demon time? Big guillotine, so we coming straight for you. We mobbing, we not running. Let's go.
Creep with me as I cruise through the ghetto. I got news for the devil and all of his bochincheros. We gon' turn up to the max, lay him on their back. As for all the innocent lives he tried to snatch, you gon' pay that back hundredfold with interest and fees. Million men of God marching towards the Garden of Eden. We gon' find where them snakes at, stomp them out ASAP. Take that. Take that. We don't play fair when it come to deliverance. We cast allegiance to demons, stone cold and belligerent. Let them know what the business is, stand firm. It's 66 slugs in this clip where that bang burn. Trust me on it. At Luke 8:29, that's rapid eviction, blast ammunition that saves lives. We the realest in the East, live from the Empire's fate. Them golly goons, nobody move, boy, it ain't safe.
Hey yo, the bar's marvelous, scar starving, it's blind Bartimaeus. Why bother with my father when God started it? Bet he'll get it rockin', metal with him with metal, my men'll get it locked in. Holy Ghost talk, know my pedigree, trendsetter with a vendetta with the enemy. There's only one king and that's the Lord of Lords. All in all, come against Christ, know you falling off. I'm preparing for the war, try to tell him these hope dealers will pill him in the jaw. He a fronter, he just act hard. From the Holy Ghost, who be running like a track star. The nemesis is getting Nathan. Penmanship, I give him Genesis, the revelation. It's more than confidence. Told you before that we more than conquerors. He moved by the word and it's more than obvious.
Come with y'all bout. You moving on demon time, we casting them all out. These Christians ain't running. No, these Christians ain't running. That's on God. These Christians ain't running. Come with y'all bout. You moving on demon time, we casting them all out. These Christians ain't running. No, these Christians ain't running.
Let me tell you, yo, the pen with flavor, the penetrator, present the maker, pen is greater. Rhymes on my notes section, no pen and people. Emulate them, the savior paving, the lane for patience. Crazy pagan, saved by grace, aiming to amputate the snakeskin. We alive, the grace he gave me a prize. While I battle with my lust, he saved me breaking the ties. Grateful I was able to break through lies from this psycho stalker that wanna kill me like cable guy. Yeah. He acted like a friend, but was really there to end anything that was a man. To leave me in his den, to never breathe again. What I'm seeing with my eyes was enough to feed the pen. Yeah, expose deception for people who screaming evil. You can feel it in the air when I speak the truth like I'm Beanie Siegel. Little Weasel destroying people with pain and needles. Pain is lethal, so we gon' pray and make it and aim to see truth.
The only thing I ran from was cop lights and Jesus. Now if I run, it's running the fade when I face these demons. Chose the wrong life, passing bundles to the block boys. But God made me right, I slept my struggles boxing softball. Me llaman el gajero, yo trabajo la cosecha. Ya viene en el aguacero, siempre cargo la chaqueta. Manning deja el bulto, te doblo la maleta. Predicando en el punto, Jehová y su grandeza. Heck no, you're my soul ain't for sale. I shine the light of Christ, show the force of darkness can't prevail. This wartime, yeah, we ready for war. In the Lord's time, I guarantee he'll settle the score. We taking back what the devil tried to took. Look, we don't follow rules of man, we follow the book. If y'all still gotta ask what we rapping about, we war with demons in Jesus' name, we casting them out. No.
These Christians ain't running. Come with y'all bout. You moving on demon time, we casting them all out. These Christians ain't running. No, these Christians ain't running. That's on God. These Christians ain't running. Come with y'all bout. You moving on demon time, we casting them all out. These Christians ain't running. No, these Christians ain't running. That's on God.
We running, we gunning, it's off top. 66 in the clip, gon' rip till they all drop. These demons in the glass house trying to toss rocks. Y'all stop, y'all weak and your balls don't call shots. All God make the calls and he the one to regulate. Y'all got it twisted, you thinking he ain't gon' set it straight. The enemy know in the ending he got hell to pay. When it go down, we going up to celebrate. We ain't running, but demon time is running out. Sound like thunder sound, we fire lightning coming down. Keep them ducking down from a couple hundred rounds. Catching bodies for the body till my body underground. When it's crunch time, catch me on the front lines. Once I go to a line, boy, lunchtime. Satan know me to fade and he finna run mine. Where he gon' run?
Alright, y'all, welcome back to True Hall of Fame Builds. Yeah, I already know I'm your host, Michael May. Thank you for being here to Hear Me Out Podcast Association. When man talk, listen, man. Today, I had to stop my grind real fast. Because somebody sent me this video. People, I'm over here showering, shaving, and somebody had to send me this video on Instagram and just threw my whole day off. I gotta do this man talk, y'all. Now, y'all guys already know. So recently, there was a debate that happened between Andrew Wilson and Coach Greg. And everybody's been putting they 2 cents into it. And for the most part, I try to stay out of it. For the most part, I try my damnedest to stay out of it. Let the chips fall where they may. I love Coach Greg. I rock with Andrew Wilson. And I rock with Shazette. But somebody sent me this video and was like, you may need to slay the dragons. People. Now, I want to start off by saying this. I respect all the men in the video, but I got to say this. Shazette, I am very, very shocked with how you handled this debate. I am very, very shocked. So today's topic is marriage worth it in today's day? They go through a lot. I'm gonna let them talk, and I'm gonna interject when I feel is important. I am very, very shocked because one thing I do not like about the manosphere is this. You got men trying their best to slant this debate in one way or the other. And I'm not with it. Everybody in this video is right. Everybody in this video is wrong. Everybody had their highs. Everybody had their lows. Are we going to dive in? I am very, very shocked that Shazette chose to take this route, but I want to dive into it. I'm going to let y'all guys rock out on here for yourselves. Let's rock and roll.
I can give you a way, a methodology, in which you can utilize the religious ecclesiastical institution, which has existed for 2,000 years and has right now the lowest divorce rates, right this second as we speak, not in make-believe land, not hundreds of years in the future, right this second.
This is a very small percentage.
You're doing the same
I'm
thing.
telling you about
if
what's
you get
happening.
married, you may get a
No, I
divorce.
said
You
when.
may, if this happens, then this may happen. That sounds like a real viable solution. What's yours? More degeneracy? Go out and play the field, hump a lot of chicks? How's that going to help anybody do anything? That's been the progressive mantra for 100 years. Isn't it wonderful?
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
I, Chisha Zed, am a 31-year-old, recently married man. And so when I saw Andrew Wilson versus CGA, is marriage worth it? I was interested. Not only was I just interested, though, I was actually very excited. Because obviously, as a man who's been recently married, it's only been 2 years, guys, I'm still recent, right? I assumed they were going to discuss many topics that I've wrestled with personally myself, and I'm still curious about. And so, number one, recently married, 31 years old, have a child, and identify as Christian, a follower of Christ. It's the Bible and Christ alone, right? That's what I believe. And
share the video, y'all, with anybody.
My interest.
Who needs to
I do
tune
want
in?
to start with the disclaimer that I know is going to make some people uncomfortable, some men uncomfortable. You see, when it comes to this conversation, what I have witnessed throughout the past 5 years or so of me having this conversation, offline and online here on my platform, is that the angriest and most emotional people when it comes to the conversation and debate on marriage are often the same people whose legacy will not exist 100 years from now. They're not building families. They're not raising children. So their opinions, and listen, you're allowed to have opinions. That's not what this is about. Their opinions might echo for a moment, but their bloodline won't be around to deal with consequences. You can see this in many different debates about children, gender affirmation, many different debates of people who don't even plan to have kids. We don't even think about how certain decisions will affect the future generation when they're not raised in the future, right? The future isn't living in their home. And no, I'm not talking about just scattering your seeds or having kids outside of wedlock. I'm talking about building strong families that survive to the next generation. Now, I know some people are going to hear that and they're going to take offense to it. They're going to say, Chisha, are you saying just because I don't have kids or don't plan to have kids, maybe you can have kids, that I shouldn't care about this issue? No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I do want to get across by making this point is I believe the men that should be the most concerned about this and the most interested in this type of a discussion are men who still plan to marry in our modern day, who still value marriage, men who still want families, and men who still believe in legacy, because they're the ones whose children and children's children who will have to live in the world that's currently been created through discussions and through the way marriage will be approached.
So, Shizette, my question is this. So you just said, people, hear me out. So Shizette is saying the guys should be the most concerned are the guys who are choosing not to have children, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, Shizette says that your children are going to be the ones to carry on. Okay, I'm going to say this again. There are plenty of smart men who choose not to have children, and they're going to live on forever. Can I give you an example? For forever and a day, you're going to know who John Cena is. You see, I think what he failed to get across in this video, he failed to get across the average men. Now, I must say this. Every man should aspire to be something great. We don't all have the opportunity to become great. Fine. But nonetheless, there are so many guys out here. There are so many dudes just knocking up chicks for no reason. Their legacy is going to be, most men's legacy won't stand the test of time. Ready? Shizette. His legacy may not stand the test of time. This is what I'm saying. People got to be very careful what side of this debate they're going to land on. But I'm going to make it perfectly clear the side of the debate that I land on in a minute. It's going to come home. But I'm going to keep letting this man talk.
Or maybe dealt with in the future. Will it exist? We don't know. All right, so that's that. And before I play this video, you should know that this isn't just me watching the video. A lot of this is going to be my own personal commentary, thoughts on the points made here with my own stance on the topic. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Okay, guys, finally getting started. Thanks for being patient. I know there was some delays. We got Andrew here versus Coach Greg Adams, aka the Free Agent Lifestyle. We're going to talk about today, is marriage worth it for men in the West? So let's get into some opening statements. Who wants to start off?
Yeah, man, marriage is a great institution. It was an institution.
Now, I want you to hear what was said, y'all. Listen. People, listening is a big part of life. Is marriage worth it? The host said, for men in the West, the United States of America. Let's keep going.
That built the community of America. Most of the better communities that have safety, good children, good schools are typically centered around marriage. However, marriage has not progressed to the point where men could be safe legally, and a lot of men have experienced tremendous damage, collateral.
And a lot of you guys who are watching, you're going to learn a lot today. You're going to learn a lot today. This is going to be a crash course. Because, like I said, Shazette decided not to speak on a lot. Coach Greg is correct about a lot. Andrew's correct about some things. Shazette is just an innocent bystander. But him being a man of God, him being a man of the Most High, a man of the book, I'm kind of disappointed in him in this video. I think that's why this video was sent to me. But let's keep rocking and rolling.
Damage as a result, and it has led to broken families, a lot of broken hearts, simply because the laws are not positioned to benefit both people in a divorce. Therefore, you have no fault divorce. You have opportunities for women to use the courts against men. And as a result, men have seen 1, 2, and 3 generations of men getting harmed, their grandfathers, their fathers, their uncles, their brothers getting harmed by this. So Generation Z men are not positioning themselves for a positive marriage. So at this particular point, if someone asked me, would I recommend marriage for them, and they were in a certain position in life, they weren't established, I would say no. There's no benefit for the person to get married today.
Got it.
All right, so real quick, I just wanted to be known that I'm familiar with CGA, Coach Greg Adams. I remember watching the last debate I saw of Coach Greg Adams was him and Hafiz. It was a while ago, but I remember that. That one was really entertaining, good to watch. He did excellent, I believe, in that debate. Now, I am not a debater myself. I'm just not. However, I do, when it comes to Andrew Wilson, I do owe it to my audience, my subscribers, who put me on. I reacted to one video, and it wasn't that long ago. I believe that was early this year. In that video, I remember saying, I don't really know much about this guy, but, you know, I agree with a lot of what he's saying so far. And I even had a commenter who said, there's no way Chisha must be lying. There's no way he doesn't know who Andrew Wilson is. I really didn't. Since then, I reacted.
I mean, I can't lie. Andrew Wilson is he is a pretty well-known guy. And being a content creator, you would typically know who he is. But let's keep rocking and rolling.
To a few different videos. Anyways, let's keep listening.
Proposition is that marriage, quote, is a great institution. Yep. And that right now your concern is that men can't be safe in marriage, but that's not actually what you're saying. You're not saying men can't be safe in marriage. They can. You're saying that they may not be safe in divorce. So I have a counter proposition for you. My counter proposition is, what if it's the case that you can use religious marriage institutions without the state? And then we have the ecclesiastical structure of the marriage. That's what always kept them together anyway, before the state was ever involved. So what if instead we use the ecclesiastical church, the structure of the old churches, that would be Catholicism and Orthodoxy, where you see the lowest divorce rates, because the community puts pressure on the women to act right. That's what they do. Right now, the state applies no pressure on women to act right, right? You can just go and file whatever you want, get a divorce, and go be banging the neighbor by the next night. We totally agree on that. But to say that we should abandon marriage is silly. It seems like you're completely pro-marriage. You're just anti-divorce. So why wouldn't you just throw your weight behind institutions where the divorce rate is the least, and you have an ecclesiastical structure which can be appealed to assist with that? That's what makes no sense to me.
All right, so the debate is marriage worth it? You heard CGA there say, hey, I think marriage is great for society. A lot of good things come from marriage. However, he wouldn't encourage most men today to marry because the laws and the system aren't set up to benefit those men. There's too much of a risk. And so...
Now, I will say this. Yes. Is marriage a good thing? In my personal opinion, it's not a yes or no. I can't say yes or no. I have to say it depends on the person. People, hear me out. If I think waking up early in the morning, whether you're going to work or not, is a good thing. I think waking up early in the morning, whether going to work, if today you didn't work, but you got up at 9 instead of 6 with the way you normally would, I think you're doing a disservice to yourself. And studies show that I would be correct, right? But what the studies don't show is not everybody's the same. That's why there are some people that thrive at graveyard shift. I can't do that no more. I'm past those days. Graveyard is not for me. But what I'm saying to you guys is this. There's always pros and cons in everything. When it comes to marriage, there's pros and cons. But if I'm being honest with you, in marriage, there is way more pros for a woman than there is a man. There is so much more benefit for a woman to be married than a man. I'm just going to be frank. There is so much, women benefit more from being married than a man does. I'm just saying. Now, this is why the saying goes, if you're a man and you want to save money, stay single. If a woman wants to save money, she's to get married. There's a reason why that's a thing. There's more than one reason why there's pros and cons. And I do think that the pros for women outweigh the cons. Marriage is for women, fellas. I keep telling y'all this for the longest. If you weren't married, you would have 1-bedroom apartment and a penthouse, high rise, paying $1,500 a month for a view overlooking the city. But because you're married, she wants the house. She wants the space. For her, it's about safety. She wants to get the family van, where you want to get the two-door sports car. You got to get a truck to fit everybody when you want to have an i8. So there's pros and cons, but let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Andrew has a counterpoint. I don't think I need to go much into the risk associated with marriage today. That's something that's very well known. So now we move over to Andrew Wilson's counterpoint. And I think it's important that we understand what he's saying as simply as we possibly can. He's talking about restructuring marriage and giving power instead of getting married to the state. Right now, you need to go get a state license, right? Marriage license, sign it, and you are now held up to the expectations and laws of the state that you live in.
Now, that is a lie. That is a lie. Now, Shazette said right now, you have to get married through the state. That is a lie. That is a lie. Because, let me let it roll.
So he wants to cut them out, and he believes you can fix the problem with risk by restructuring marriage and how it's approached using the same models that are used with an ecclesiastic approach to marriage. What is that? What is an ecclesiastical approach and structure?
Now, I got to say this. I've already told you guys this before. See, the reason why I'm saying he's lying is this. Because Shazette, if you are signing a prenup, right? Let's give you guys an example. I want you guys to understand. Me and my wife are not married through the state. Me and my wife were and are married the way the Bible says. The way the Bible said for it to be, right? You already know, man, big boss shit. Hear me. I want you guys to understand something. When I met my wife, I did what was told, which was I dwelled amongst the men of her family. I spoke to them first. I engaged with them for quite some time. I got their approval. Hey, how you feel about this? I love your niece, XYZ. I want her as my wife, this and that. I went to her father. Hey, look, I love your daughter, XYZ, this and that. Boom, boom. I went and spoke to her brother. Hey, look, man, I love your sister, man. I know you were a little young, but your approval will still mean a lot to me. It'll mean a lot for me to get the support of her brother. I did it the way the Bible said. When I married my wife, I had to dwell with the men of her family. He goes, my mother and father were married that way over 45 years, not through man, but under God. Right. So I want you to understand, me being married to my wife, listen, my wife is here. She could tell you, her father one time sat me down. He said, hey, do you, mind you, this is a man of God, a man of the Most High. Do you believe that you married my daughter the correct way? I said, yes. I think this was the day her father realized I was no one to play with. I think this was the day that my wife's father realized this ain't no dumb man. So he said, can you explain to me how you married my daughter the proper way? I said, sure. I said, so before I physically touched your daughter in any kind of way, I've asked for your approval. I said, before I touched her, before I even entered her body, I went to her uncle. Hey, we spoke, we chilled, we FaceTime, we talked for months. I went to her father. Put it this way, my wife will tell you that her mom felt disrespected, that I didn't even care. I didn't even care for her approval, because I didn't need it. Because I didn't need it. I didn't need her mom's approval. I need her father's approval. I need the men that support her to approve of me taking over their job. Check that out. So what me and my wife did was we have paperwork on each other. Now, before I let this video roll, no. I want to let Andrew put his foot in his mouth. Hold up. Because Andrew always says he's a man of God. Look, 1800 says, facts. That's how you do it. Hold on. I'm going to let Andrew put his foot in his mouth.
He gives us a big hint when he says,
real man shit. Listen.
Part of the benefit of that type of a structure, religious structure based on ecclesiastical structure, is you now have social pressure that instead of encouraging.
Hold up. Prophet says, I've been married with mine for 10 years now, and no court marriage. I did it in my backyard. We exchanged vows with our pastor. I want you guys to understand. Do you know what divorce? Do you know what divorce entails? If you want to divorce, listen to me. How are you getting married under God, but when you want to get divorced, you're in front of a judge? Somebody explain that to me. Because last time I checked, when you want a divorce, you're supposed to bring all the witnesses back. That means your mom, tu papa, tu mama, your auntie, your auntie, your auntie Cheryl, Big Mama Morgan, bring all of them back and congregate about the divorce. That's what a divorce is supposed to look like. How can we help people? Have y'all ever seen, what are those people? What is it? Is it Samoans? The when I go, listen, it's called the haka. I think it is. I'm not coming down at them. If I am mistaken, that whole ritual, that whole ritual is saying, we're gonna fight for you guys' marriage. We're gonna fight. Because marriage is a community. This is why I tell you, fellas, how do you marry a woman that has no community? See, people, I'm not gonna have a popular stream because I'm gonna hurt people's feelings today. So people ain't gonna stay because I'm hurting them. I'm hurting the little heart, the little fluttery heart. I want you to understand the purpose of the haka. Please, somebody, if you understand how to properly say it, he said, you cooking right now. Hold on. Hear me. The purpose of that ritual is to show you we're here to fight. We're here to fight. All that. That's to show. But listen, I'm playing a video. Keep listening.
Women to divorce, which we all know that definitely happens, and we see it over and over again, especially here on the Coffee Pot. They would have, in addition to positive social pressures to continue their marriages, they would also be socially, very heavily socially discouraged to divorce, thus reducing the risk of divorce within marriage. And the solution that Andrew Wilson here is proposing is that if we can do that, and if men could see that, then they would see marriage as worth it. All right, let's keep listening.
This is my favorite dentist hack to clean my retainer. If you wear a retainer every night like I do, you know how hard it is to keep it.
My response to that is if we're fifths, we beat all drunk. All right. So that's a scenario that just isn't present.
Can you explain the analogy for me?
Well, if we use if it's a matter of when, if we say if we have a situation.
Prophet, 100%. When you get married through the state, you're not marrying your wife. You both are marrying the state. The state is the husband. This is why I never understand. But, ready? Now, I'm going to hurt some feelings right now. If you got a little baby fluttery heart, get out of here. It's not for you. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. People, I'm about to go off. If you're sensitive, get out of here. Let's keep playing the video.
Situation where this is present, then this would work. Well, that makes sense. If we had that,
we do
would
have
work
it right now.
Well, it doesn't necessarily work because, and I'm going to tell you why, because a woman can go to a divorce attorney and they can simply just say, so therefore the divorce goes on.
No,
absolutely. Yes.
well,
Listen, I've been with the divorce attorneys, and what they'll tell you is you can get married in the orthodoxy, you can get married off record. But if she files and that woman is hell bent on saying, we got married, I don't care if it was a ceremony where we walked on coals with our feet bare, that's considered a marriage. You also have common law. You have a lot of other ways for that woman to establish marriage.
How does your way eliminate common law?
I don't have any way to eliminate common law.
So
what I have is a way for me.
Ooh, hold on. I have to make a few things clear, guys. This is going to be video that's going to be paused, and I'm going to insert my commentary in a lot of places. So let's break down what CGA there is saying. He's saying, listen, this sounds great. This idea that you can restructure marriage and give power to churches, socially pressure women. And you may be wondering, well, why women? Well, because women tend to initiate divorce at a very high Great. You know the stats, they're repeated over and over again, 70%, 80% plus in the black.
And yes, Coach Greg is correct. Coach Greg is correct. We can't live in the land of make-believe. What if we are living in a time where women feel they feel like their independence is everything, yet at the same time they're out here crying because they're struggling, drowning in debt, drowning in bills, drowning with their life responsibilities. But fellas, hear me out. I'm gonna tell you what it is, and I'm gonna say it again over and over again. We've been saying this for the longest time. Women don't want love, they want help. You have to be, fellas, women don't want love. Women are not looking for love, they're looking for help. And if by now you can't understand that's whatever transpires in your life, you deserve it. Because there's too many men out here waking you guys up. Trap says, marriage license are bonds, just like your birth certificate. All bad business. Let's keep going.
Black community. And so they are the party who comes to the marriage agreement when they're agreeing and deciding, walking in and saying, hey, I'm committing to this for life, right? When they make that commitment, they are the party who you will have to disincentivize somehow. And Andrew Wilson says we can do that through oppression. And they have to feel bad for leaving. They have to feel the heavy social pressures and shame, which they definitely do not experience to the degree that would match their public declarations to stay to death do in part. You want?
Yes. Do I think that we should bring back shame? 100%. I think we have to. People, that's where all these weak men come from. That's where all these weak women come from. We need to bring back shame. Oh, you a divorcee? Oh, that's bad. Leave her alone. She a divorcee. Yeah, shame her. Oh, this girl's a loose chick. She's out here sleeping with all these guys. She got kids by the age of 16. Shame her. Yeah, you a 30-year-old man and you a 40-year-old man. You still living in your mom's house in the projects. Shame you. You broke motherfucker. Shame you. Yes, shame you. You in the projects at 40 years old. Roaches all over the place. And you talking about, I'm balling, because you got a bench outside? Nigga, you broke. You broke. You broke. Nah. And here's the excuse. Here's the excuse. You soft ass niggas love to say, nah, I'm staying here because of my mom. I gotta help my mom out. Motherfucker, she was fine without you. Get your ass out of your mom's house, nigga. Your mom is saving you. Stop it. Fuck out of here. Great start, my guy. Great start, Will. That nigga be out here. I'm staying in the projects to help my mom. But you the one having kids. You live in the projects with your mom, 3 bedrooms, and you got 6 kids. How the fuck are you in the projects? Who you talking to? Shame that nigga. You a bum. You a bum, nigga. Living with your mom. You a bum. You a homosexual, nigga. That's what you are. Yes, bring shame back. That's the problem with you weak ass niggas now. You niggas go to work. My boss is acting funny with me. I don't know what to say. Yo, listen, I need to talk to you, man. People, I shared with y'all the stories, the war stories of me on my workforce, on my workplace, where, listen, Carmen, if you're watching, I love you. We used to call her mom at my job. I'm not going to say where, My boss was a racist bitch. She would sit here. All it took was for her one day to come in. We Spanish. I'm Spanish. Yo soy puertorriqueño y dominicano. We talking Spanish. We in there listening to Spanish music, doing our work. I work for the HIPAA, HIM department. Boom, boom. We in there listening to Spanish music. You know what I'm saying? We in there, hola, baby. And she comes in here. You guys should stop talking Spanish because it's kind of rude. Bitch, you work for a Spanish company. What the fuck? So I lost it. And the problem is you niggas got no balls. You got no balls. Hold up. What? Hold up. Mamas, listen. I'm gonna show you how bosses do shit. I didn't call you. I didn't ask you a question, fast. Do you remember the time when you called your boss for a raise? Right? Were you not mentioning to me about you got more clients, more responsibilities, more of everything? Stop.
Yeah.
Didn't I tell you to speak to your boss about the raise?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened?
I got a raise.
She got a raise. People, my boss was like, damn, I'm taking on more clients, more responsibility. I've been working for the company, how was it, for 2 years at the time, right?
No, it's almost 5.
Almost 5 years, y'all, without asking for a raise. Hear me. Listen to me. My wife. And mama, how did I walk you through the process of asking your boss for a raise?
To ask for a professional evaluation.
Can you say it a little louder?
To ask for a professional eval. So
I said, mamas, you're going to call your boss. I said, don't email, text, and you're going to call him. Hey, what's up? Because he's cool with her. He's cool. And I said, thanks, mom, I appreciate it. I am going to bother you. I said, you're going to ask this man for a professional evaluation. When she asked her boss, hey, I want a professional evaluation, he told her, yo, are you feeling okay? Are you all right? Mama, ain't that what he said? He said, are you feeling okay? He said, nobody, listen, that means all of the women that's worked for his company for all of these years never asked him for a professional evaluation. Hold on, wait. I gotta charge in a minute. That means nobody asked this man for a professional evaluation to the point that her boss is like, yo, you okay? You good? And I said, don't ask for the raise. Ask for an evaluation. He said, okay, I'm going to do an evaluation. After the evaluation, he said, if I see that you've been consistently working well, I'm going to give you a raise. She went from making almost $8,000 a month to almost $1,100 a month. Just like that. Just like that. The people. All she asked for was a professional evaluation. And he said, okay, if everything checks out, I'll give you a raise. Yeah, I'm sorry, 11,000. 11,000 a month. I'm sorry. Went from making $8,000 a month to almost 11 grand. Just like that. People, I want you to understand. In this life we live, you gotta have balls. People, most men would never put pressure on their wives like that. The thing is this, I wasn't gonna put pressure on my wife. I'm not doing that. So what I did was I made her put pressure on her boss. Prophet said, makes sense. Perfect sense, yep. It ain't always easy, but definitely worth the facts. He said, that's some serious, right. I told you guys that my wife has been telling me, yo, I don't want you to work for a little bit. She wants me to do this full time. She's like, I want you to go hard with the content. Hit the like button, y'all. People, I want you to understand something. Or because it takes balls. I have something that most men don't have. I am at liberty to be honest with my wife. And when I sat down with her dad and he asked me, do you think that you married my daughter the proper way? And when I said yes, I said yes. I came to you. I had no sex with your daughter for a year. I came to you. I met with you. I dwell with the men in the family. The minute you guys gave me the okay, she became mine. And he's like, oh, but do you? And I thought, me and my wife are sitting there. We going through scripture. We're going through the scripture. He looked, my wife's father looked over at his wife like, yo, this nigga right here, B, this man is a problem. This man is on it. This man is on it. That was the day I think he understood, I'm here. Let's keep rocking and rolling, y'all.
Want the shame to match that commitment. I agree with that. I believe if that can be accomplished, then that would be a powerful thing, especially here in the US. CGA comes in and says, hey, that sounds nice to the ears. However, if it existed, then we should be able to see that that would work. And the obvious question here is, has it worked anywhere else? Now, at this point, this is when I'm going to turn to our AI assistant barista, Miss Coffee, and ask her if the ecclesiastical structure
Listen closely, y'all. Listen very closely. People, I want you to listen to what he's going to reach out to ChatGPT or whatever AI program he uses. Listen. And because I want to see if you're listening, I'm going to ask a question. And I'm going to see who's really listening. Listen.
Marriage is working anywhere else. Ms. Coffee, the ecclesiastical structure to marriage, is it being practiced? And is it effective anywhere in the world? And if so, are the divorce rates significantly higher or lower than those in the US? I know, guys, I'm cheating with AI. Yep, that's what we do here.
You're reaching for the deep brew tonight.
Yes,
We're
I
talking
am.
about ecclesiastical marriage structures, basically marriage systems rooted in religious authority rather than civil law. Let's break this down clearly and then look at how it plays out globally. What ecclesiastical structure to marriage means. Ecclesiastical just means church-based or religiously governed. So an ecclesiastical marriage system is one where the church or religious institution, not the state, defines how marriages are formed, managed, and dissolved. In a civil system, like the US, the government recognizes marriages and controls divorce law. In an ecclesiastical system, marriage is treated as a sacrament or covenant before God, often making divorce very difficult or even forbidden, where it's still practiced today. The Vatican City, fully ecclesiastical. Only religious Catholic marriages exist, there's no civil marriage. Divorce doesn't exist. The only way to end a marriage is through annulment, declaring it was never valid.
Right.
Very few cases overall, since it's a tiny population. But technically, the divorce rate is 0 because there's no legal divorce. The Philippines, a hybrid model. Heavily Catholic influence. Divorce is illegal for most citizens, only legal for Muslims under separate Sharia law.
And you guys remember I did a video on that a while back.
Result, one of the lowest divorce rates in the world, but also a growing number of unofficial separations. Couples just live apart.
Result, one of the lowest divorce rates.
Now, we're all listening. So, this is the part that I don't understand why Shazette did not step in. Shazette should have said, so what Andrew is saying is that the government should relinquish all of their power. This is why Coach Greg Adams is correct. We have to speak in not possibilities. We got to speak in probabilities. And the likelihood in people, we live in a country in the United States of America, in the USA, where our government is fighting for more power over you. Why would they give up one of their most biggest financial profitable businesses, which is marriage? Why people, most women that are wealthy got wealthy off of their marriage? This is a fact. This is a fact. Why would they give up the power and do what Andrew's saying? This is where I said Shazette was wrong. Because Shazette should have came. So I'm killing three birds with one stone tonight. Yes, Coach Greg has children, filed for divorce. He says simple, just don't get married. That's what Coach Greg Adams is saying. So Coach is correct in some instances, because it's not the marriage that's the problem. It's the divorce that's the problem, right? But let's keep listening. Let's keep listening, y'all. I want to see who's listening.
In the world.
Critics argue low divorce doesn't mean happy marriages. It often means people are trapped. Some Muslim-majority nations follow Sharia-based ecclesiastical frameworks. For example, Saudi Arabia and Iran treat marriage as both a legal and religious contract. Divorce is permitted but regulated through religious courts, with rules differing for men and women. Divorce rates vary widely. For example, in Saudi Arabia, around 25 to 30%, lower than the US, approximately equal to 45 to 50%, but climbing with modernization. Eastern Orthodox communities, like Greece. The state recognizes Orthodox religious marriages, and the church can grant ecclesiastical divorces. Rates are lower than the US, roughly 20 to 25%, partly due to culture and strong family.
If you were paying attention, what is the number one issue that the AI just said? If you're paying attention, what is the number one issue that AI just said? I want to see who's listening. And then I'm going to show you guys where the problem is with marriage today. I want to see who's listening. First person to answer it correctly, first five answers. First one to answer correctly, I'm taking care of your lunch tomorrow. I'm sending you $20. Cash App. I'm sending you 20. What was the error? What is the problem with what AI said? I want to see. I know everybody right now thinking. Everybody's like, damn, what the hell? I'll play it for you again. I'm bringing back a little bit just for y'all guys.
Result, one of the lowest divorce rates in the world, but also a growing number of unofficial separations. Couples just live apart.
Result, one of the lowest divorce rates in the world.
Critics argue low divorce doesn't mean happy marriages. It often means people are trapped. Some Muslim-majority nations follow Sharia-based ecclesiastical frameworks. For example, Saudi Arabia and Iran treat marriage as both a legal and religious contract. Divorce is permitted but regulated through religious courts, with rules differing for men and women. Divorce rates vary widely. For example, in Saudi Arabia, around 25 to 30%, lower than the US, approximately equal to 45 to 50%, but climbing with modernization. Eastern Orthodox communities, like Greece. The state recognizes Orthodox religious marriages, and the church can grant ecclesiastical divorces. Rates are lower than the US, roughly 20 to 25%, partly due to culture and strong family ties. Comparison to the US. The US has one of the highest divorce rates in the developed world, around 40 to 50% of first marriages.
What a surprise.
Marriages. The difference isn't purely about religion, it's also about individual freedom, economic independence, and cultural expectations. Bottom line, ecclesiastical marriage systems do exist in places like the Vatican, the Philippines, and parts of.
What is the problem that you heard? What is the problem? All right. If you guys didn't catch it yet, it's fine. Yeah, everybody, nobody wanted the answer. What's the? What was the problem with what AI said regarding marriage? Somebody said, I don't know. I ain't smart enough. Personal freedom. Okay. Cultural difference. Okay. He goes, in the US, marriage is a trap. It's a business. But in Muslim countries, it's a threat. But the values it seems like, all right. Okay. So nobody got it right. Okay. Hear me, y'all. No. I said, what did the AI say that was incorrect about marriage? Marriage is not about happiness. Marriage, people, nobody gives a flying fuck about happiness. Show me where in the Bible it says your happiness trumps all. Marriage is about responsibilities and duties on both parts. Show me where does it. Y'all gotta get this Will Smith shit out your head and the pursuit of happiness. People, life is not about being happy. People, I don't give two shits about being happy. I don't care. People, you know when I'm happy? When I eat. You know when I'm happy? When my wife says, honey, I love you. I respect you. When my son goes, Dad, I love you. I love you more. Besito. And he comes and goes, ¿Qué tú sabes? ¿Qué lo que? Huepa. Like, there are so many things that make me happy. That's not why I wake up. People, do you think every day I'm happy with my wife? So every day I'm just, hey, good morning, my neighbors. No. There's something that I'm like, yo, go to fucking people. There are days that's why I'm bald. I lost all my hair because of her. Listen, people. Marriage is about duty. Marriage is about duty. People, here's the real issue with marriage. I'm going to solve all of your issues right now.
It's bigger than their socks.
What about my socks?
They're all over the place.
I don't care. I don't care if my socks are everywhere. I care less. So, if my feet get cold over there, and I want to put some socks, I'm going to come back over here. My socks is already over there. That's why you have to have them spread out all over the place. My feet are always nice and quite cozy. Don't leave it alone. Leave it alone. He said, wow, damn, that's true. It doesn't say that in the Bible. And marriage doesn't make you happy. It does not. It does not. People, listen to me. Listen to me. The fact that I can get up in the morning and do for my wife, it's amazing. The fact that I can get up in the morning and I'm able to turn on the stream and stream for you guys. People, I want you to understand. This is why I say marriage has more pros for women, because if it's gonna come straight to happiness, most men wouldn't be happy in a marriage. Most men wouldn't be happy in a marriage. You wanna know why? Because the performance, listen, the burden of performance is on a man. So then for that, why would any man want to get married? Why would any man say, I'm going to sign up for this position knowing that I'm going to lose? Marriage, and here's the next part, y'all. I've been telling y'all this for at least 3 years on YouTube. People, marriage done God's way, marriage done God's way, it's supposed to get better with time. How do you divorce somebody 10, 15, 20, 30 years of marriage and you divorce? You know what that means? Somebody was lying. That means the whole time while y'all guys was married, somebody was lying. Somebody was just going along to get along. That means somebody was lying. Why? Because y'all gotta stop listening to this. We're in the honeymoon phase, people. The honeymoon phase happens after your children. After you have kids, they grew up, they grew out. Now that you're older, now you accumulated more money. Now you could travel the world. Your kids are good, no worries. That's the honeymoon phase. My wife's freaking damn near uncle, every month, he spends every month traveling to a different country. This nigga's on tour more than fucking the Rolling Stones. That's what marriage is about. Marriage is about the reward later. People, what the fuck? Imagine this. You're divorced. You independent. I don't need no man. You out here trying to celebrate failure. When I get older, and hopefully my beard's starting to get a little gray, but it needs to get, I need a little more stress. Hear me?
You need more?
A little bit. It's a little more. Hear me.
Stream.
Listen.
Already here.
Hear me. When I get older and my kids are successful, and I can sit back with a cigar, glass of wine, I live out my days through the honeymoon phase. Me and my wife could travel to all the oceans, all the waterfalls, or the thing is this, y'all. Y'all are so stuck on YOLO. You only live once. Bro, hear me out. Every day I wake up is another opportunity. I live every single day. Every single day is another chance. I didn't have to wake up this morning. God didn't have to get me up this morning. So guess what? Today's another day at life. At life. Every day's a new day at life. Baby, can you a little more, please? Huh? I see. Let's keep rocking and rolling, though. Let's keep listening.
The Muslim world.
Because I ain't even hit you over the head yet. I ain't even get to the meat and potatoes. And Shazette is still sitting here quiet. So I'm a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little disappointed in Shazette. Shazette, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm just a little disappointed because you didn't say anything yet of any real significance. And I've heard plenty to react to, but let's keep going.
Tend to have much lower official divorce rates, but that doesn't always mean stronger marriages. Sometimes it means people can't legally leave bad ones. So yes, they work in the sense of preserving the institution, but not always in the sense of preserving the relationship.
Yep.
Liberty Mutual customizes.
Wait, am I in one of those Liberty Mutual commercials where they stand in front of the Statue of Liberty and talk about how
One thing I just thought was interesting was,
And why do you think that they always say this is why men shouldn't marry whores? Because a woman creates a certain appetite for her body. She's accustomed to the circus act of going from man to man to man to man. So to stop all of that and just be with one man, it's going to be extremely difficult. How can a woman that's used to being passed around turn more than a doorknob? How can you expect her to sit here and genuinely be happy? But then yet, these will be the same women who want to force monogamy on you. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You can only be with me and only me, but she's always unhappy because she don't have 18 dicks inside of her. Well, what do you want? So whose fault is that? Is that my fault? He said, man, this is the realest one. This is the realest channel. Bro, I get down with this. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, True Hall of Fame is a brand. It's a lifestyle. It ain't about gaming. It's about everything in life. We don't play games over here, dogs. Let's keep rocking and rolling.
that this doesn't mean that these marriages are happy, right? And just that focus on happiness itself is what separates individuals, I believe, who enter a relationship or a marriage from a serious respect for a religion in the U.S. That would be Christianity.
He said, hit the like button. What YouTuber you know do 2K and man talk? Stop playing. Stop playing with me, man. But listen, y'all, listen.
Based on happiness. All right, let's get back to this debate. So we found out that there are places where an ecclesiastical approach to marriage is currently practiced. The question is, can that be brought here to the U.S.?
Nope.
Let's keep listening.
I don't care if it was a ceremony where we walked on coals with our feet bare. That's considered a marriage. You also have common law. You have a lot of other ways for that woman to establish marriage.
How does your way eliminate common law?
I don't have any way to eliminate common law.
So
what
then,
I have is a way for men to avoid
then the
being
argument's
used.
silly.
No, the argument's not silly. So here's what you have. You have a
Will said, man, I forgot he played 2K. Facts.
if proposition, which doesn't exist for most men. Most men aren't religious. Most men aren't looking to be under a religious orthodoxy. So it doesn't apply. So you're taking a moral standard or a religious standard to apply to people who aren't under that veil.
So let's start with a couple of things you said which are fundamentally untrue. Most men are religious, in fact, including in this country. Most of them, not some of them.
But they're not religious
Hang on, I didn't interrupt. I didn't interrupt.
Now, they're both correct. Most men in this country, they believe in a higher power of their choice. Whether some believe in Buddhism, some believe in God, some believe in voodoo, some are Scientology. Yes, most men have something that they follow. The thing is this. Andrew's trying to shove all men under this Christian umbrella. That's where he goes wrong. Because you can't say each and every different denomination should have their own rules. What's the purpose then? Ready? So how would you maintain law and order? How would you maintain it? Because Scientologies feel their God is above our God. I feel, Yahshua, the Most High, I'm a disciple. I feel my beliefs is the right way. I'm not saying yours is different, but ready? Even like when I have discussions with Muslims and I say, doesn't the Quran, doesn't it tell you at some point, if you are having misunderstandings of this book, just refer to the Bible? Does it not still refer you back to my God? Does it not? I'm just saying. So I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm just saying my belief is my belief. But now, let's keep going. Because nobody is saying the key thing, y'all. Watch.
I understand, but maybe just take that point. Most aren't under your
He said, spitting out facts.
religion.
Oh, it's already getting tense. It's already getting tense. Is that coffee? Is that coffee he was pouring right there, or what?
Okay,
We can agree with that.
So here's the thing, though. But Catholicism and Orthodoxy is growing rapidly, and if it's the case that the ecclesiastical structure is already there, which it is, right? If you're going to cohabitate with a woman, the thing that you're offering right now is common law marriage anyway. If there's cohabitation at all, you're not protecting anybody from that. At least under my model, it gives an ecclesiastical structure that's designed to prevent divorce by applying community pressure. That was the way it was always done. Apply the application of community pressure within the confines of the woman's social circle. Right now, do you agree with me, for instance, that many...
Now, I can understand that. I can understand exactly what he's saying. I can understand that. Like I said, even like me, y'all guys know I practice polygyny. I practice having more than one wife. I practice it the way of the Bible. I don't think it's for all men to practice. All men don't have the leadership skills to practice such a thing. You feel what I'm saying? But let's keep rocking and rolling.
Divorces happen because women like to yap. So you get a freshly divorced woman and she's free. You go, girl. Girl power. And she starts talking to her little friends. And she starts telling them how liberating it is and how great it is and this and that. And this is why when women have divorced friends, their likelihood of divorce actually rapidly increases. It's for this reason.
Divorce is contagious.
So if it's the case that this social contagion is eliminated because now we have an ecclesiastical structure, an ecclesiastical authority, which won't grant it because you get ostracized from that social group through excommunication, for instance, or not being able to participate anymore with that community. That's an application of a serious and significant social pressure, which can do the very thing you want. Bring back that great institution, absent the state, and it avoids this whole problem of common law marriage. Because if it's the case that you can be common law married anyway inside of a state, and they can, get grounds for divorce on that anyway, then we actually need to have some social pressures to prevent them from doing that. So it sounds like we agree marriage is awesome for men. Divorce is terrible for them. So it seems like we should be attacking the divorce structure here. And it doesn't seem like you actually have anything to do that other than just avoid the thing that's great for you because this other bad side effect could happen.
Sure. That's
so
like smoking cigarettes.
So why don't we attack the bad side effect when we have...
Oh, that was a shot.
That was a shot.
So some of you may not know this. Most of you probably do who are watching this, but Andrew Wilson.
All right. So y'all hear that debate. People, if you are a man of God, if you believe in God, if this is your belief, do you know one of the main reasons why? People, why, if you believe in God, you're not supposed to get married by the court? If you truly believe in God, Yahshua, the Most High, if you believe in God, what is the reason you're not supposed to get married by the state? Why? I want to see who knows. All my Bible thumpers, don't run now. Tell me why. Why is it that you're not supposed to get married by the state? Especially today. Why? Takes you away from getting closer to the... That's a pretty good answer. Okay. I'm gonna wait for some of your answers. Once I answer this, I'll give you back your evening. I need to hear. This is people, this is very important. Don't miss this message. Why is it, especially if you are a man of God, a man of Yahshua, I don't care if you Muslim, I don't care if you're a Christian, if you're a Catholic, if you believe in God, why are you not supposed to get married through the state? He said it's a sin. How is it a sin? You guys are putting question marks. I'm not sure if you're asking these questions. The government's beliefs and practice. I don't understand what you're saying by that. Because your covenant is between God and not man. That's nice. I like that. That was nice. You're getting closer. He's getting the closest, y'all. Nino, shout out to Nino. Nino got the closest. Let's keep going. I want to see what y'all say. In a little bit, okay? State doesn't different from the marriage. State does it different from the marriage. Okay? They don't make your marriage. They don't determine. Well, that's my personal belief. I'm saying if we're going by the book, why are you not supposed to get married by the state? Especially today. They have no say-so in your marriage. No. Marriage is a vow between God and two people. A contract is between... Okay. It didn't exist back then, so... You guys are teetering in the right way. All right, hear me out. Hear me out. But the Bible says to obey the laws of the land. Right? Hold on, y'all. Does the Bible not say to respect the laws of the land? Am I right? Put a one in the chat if I'm correct. The Bible does say we are to respect the laws of the land. Right? Can we all agree? If you read it, can we all agree? Yes, you are to obey the laws of the land. Now, here's the key. When does the Bible tell you not to obey the laws of the land? Now we're going to see who reads. We're going to really see who reads. And this is the part where I'm surprised Shazette, being a man of the Most High, a man who was at a book, and this is the part that's confusing. And this would have ended this whole debate. This whole debate would have been over. People, had I been sitting down when the laws conflict with God's laws, when the laws conflict with God's laws, you are to revert back to God's law, not the law of man. Ready? Somebody put it in the comment section. When did no-fault divorce become a thing? Somebody Google it and put it in the comment section. When was no-fault divorce a thing? Put it in the comment section. What year? You see, y'all guys are not thinking. You're not using your brain. Because if you, in 1969, people sent and it spread across the whole country. The minute no for divorce was involved, no one should have been getting married through the courts. Ready? Watch this. Watch this. Yes, in New York City in 2010, but people, listen. When did the government, listen, because you're not paying attention. So ready? Cool. True, but I didn't know that. True, I didn't know. No forced divorce goes against God. I didn't know that. But you ready? You knew homosexuality was against God. When did the government put homosexuality, same-sex marriage under God? What year was it, y'all? Put it in the comment section. I'll wait. Because you know that. You know that. When was same-sex marriage protected under God, under the government? What year? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, it was not. No, it was not. Because I know what you're going to try to use. But I want to see if you're going to use it. Because once you use it, you got to have the balls to defend it. Google says in 2015. So that means if you got married, let's just say 2015, if you got married between 2015 and now, you knew you was going against God. Especially if you're a person of God, the Most High. So Shazette just said he's newly married. 2 years. How? My boy, how are you newly married? You're a man of God, but you know that same-sex marriage has been protected under the law and is considered under God. But you know it goes against God. So that's game over. It's game over. What, Shazette, see, this is where these niggas don't want this smoke from me. This is where they don't want this smoke. You ready? Andrew's wife, when he married her, did she not come with kids from another man? If I am mistaken, when you married her, but she was somebody else's man. People, what is a woman supposed to do when she was another man's and she's transferring to another man's? What is she supposed to do according to the book? You see, people, y'all don't want to play those games with me. See, y'all not ready for those games. So how did you get married under the same law that says same-sex marriage is protected under God, but you know it's not? Game over. Game over. This is the reason why, y'all. I said I was shocked. I was shocked that Shazette didn't say anything. People, nobody's perfect. But you can't say I'm not perfect, y'all. I'm not perfect. But if you think I would get married under a system that directly conflicts with God, directly, if he said same-sex marriage, so when a man lays with a man, how he lays with a woman is an abomination, how do you get married under the system that's saying this same-sex marriage is protected under God? And you know it conflicts. Now, me and my wife the other day were speaking about this. Some of you may or may not know about when the laws put into place same-sex marriage. Now you know. This is the reason why I told some of y'all, if you don't want the truth, don't be here. Because here's the thing. God forgives people. God forgives people that don't have the knowledge. But if you have the knowledge, but you're choosing ignorance, what did he say about choosing ignorance? What did he say about choosing ignorance? What does the book say about choosing ignorance? Because you're choosing ignorance, I will damn you, your children, and your children's children. And I'm ready for this. And I'm ready to have these real conversations with me, man. And I'm ready to have these conversations. It's cool. It's cool. Some of you guys are not prepared to have these conversations. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But because you now have the information, what are you doing with it? I think I want to put me on the game early. Shout out to your mom. Listen, y'all. I'm going to let y'all go and give y'all back y'all evening, afternoon. Y'all already know what time it is, man. I am your host, Michael May. Thank you for being here for Man Talk. It is what it is, y'all. Coach Greg is correct. No man that believes in God should be getting married. The systems is corrupted. It's to favor women. So you shouldn't be getting married. Get married with your own contract if you're going to do so. Andrew would be correct about the structure, but we live in the USA where our government is fighting for more power and control over us. So they're not going to give us full autonomy over ourselves to police ourselves. They're not going to do that. So that is a dream. We're not living in La La Land. And Shazette should have definitely stepped in more. Him being a man of the Most High. That's what he says he is. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Appreciate that. Snag, I'll be on in a few moments. I'll see y'all later. Y'all already know what time it is, man. Ya tú sabes. Que lo que. Wepa. We out of here. Hold on. Abalindos. Hold on. I don't let him do it. He gonna lose his mind. Hold up. Ready? Okay. Wepa. Out of here. All right, y'all. See you on the next one.